We just showed how to put in more than one stitch into the memory of the Pfaff Ambition Essential sewing machine. So let's do it with letters this time. So to get into the memory, we are going to be using just the first 4 buttons at the top of your screen here. The heart, when you touch it, makes it so you are in the memory. And right now I don't have anything in here, so it looks like it's completely blank. If I touch it again, I go back out to my regular stitches. But if I had put something into memory, it would have brought it back up once I go back in. C is for clear. Once I'm done using a programmed memory, I can clear out what I've added. And then this would allow me to toggle forward or back. I could add a stitch, delete a stitch, that type of thing, where I want it to be. So let's go ahead and put in the word Pfaff, for example. And so as I look up here, each letter has a number underneath it. So we have, if we want a P, we'll do 15. Oh, I do need to move it over to the alphabet section. So instead of patterns here, touch alphabet. So here we go, and starting off with the P again, 15. And it puts a little hash mark here. If I want that letter to be smaller, I could adjust the stitch width if I chose to. So let's do an F with this 0, 5. Now there's 2 little hash marks. I know I've got that in here. 0, 0 is an A, and then 0, 5, and then 0, 5. So if I see 5 little hash marks here, I know I have actually put them in. If I arrow backwards, I can see each of the numbers. So I got a 15, a 5, a 0, a 5, and a 5. And so I can see that that is there. If I just go ahead and start to stitch, I will get a whole entire length of words. So if I wanted to do Pfaff, 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 it would just continue to stitch that. Usually that's not what I would want, but if I wanted it to stop at the end of the pattern, you can touch the auto stop button or the locking stitch, and that will actually let it finish to the last item you've put into memory and stop. So I'm going to just keep my foot on my foot control until it does come to a complete stop. There's those little locks, and I still have my foot on the foot control, so it just stops for me. Let it finish out on its own. So there we have where we can go ahead and put in letters. If we want to clear that out, we'll use the clear. So we could go in, push it clear 5 times, and now you can see that there's no little hash marks showing, and it is ready for whatever I put. And you can put in a combination of letters and decorative stitches. So if I want to put in I love my, and then fill in the blank, you sure can. By the way, 83 is a little space. That's what you would use to separate words. And there are, like I said, other symbols in here. So numbers and fun letters, anything you want to spell. So I'm going to go ahead and put in a combination. Let's go ahead and do I. So I'm going to start with a 0, 8 for an I. Then I'm going to do a space, 83. And then I'm going to do a heart. There was a heart here. Where's the heart? There it is, 86. So I'll need to go back over to patterns. And that patterns comes up, so 86. And I'm going to put a space in here. So I'll go switch back to alphabet, do 83 for a space, and then I'll do my 12 for the M and 24 for the Y. One more space, 83. And then let's just do Pfaff again, and then I'll show you what it looks like stitched out. So 15 and 5, or 0, 5. Don't forget the 0. 0, 0 for the A, and then 0, 5, 0, 5. All right, I'm going to go ahead and sew this out and show you what it looks like at the end. When you're done, if you do want to keep this in here, remember you can just close down the memory by touching the heart. And when you come back in here, you'll notice you have all the little hash marks. And of course, you probably have forgotten what your last thing was into memory. So you can just start scrolling. Okay, I had 0, 8 in the alphabet. And then I had a space, 83. Oh, and then I jumped over to patterns, 86. What was 86? Oh yeah, that was the heart. So you can see, oh yeah, I remember what was in there to get us started here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and sew this out, and I'll show you what it looks like. So I made sure to push the auto stop button so I didn't have it continuing. If I hadn't, it would have started stitching the I right away, right after the F, and start over again. So depending on what you want to spell out, if there was a sentence, make sure you just add a space at the end. Then that way when it starts over, you've got a space between the last letter and the first letter before you start. So just to prove that you can combine letters and patterns in the same memory.